Johnson all day. Another delivery to Butte. They can't stop this guy. Look at this. Touchdown, Tigers.
Hello and welcome into Tigers Roar. As always, I'm Jonathan Poche, joined by the Budman buddy Songy here on Pelican Broadcasting. Before we get started, we have a lot to talk about. Remind you guys to check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A great way to keep up with everything we do here. Not only Tigers Roar, but the Clarence Buck Show, the Exiles, and Rocket Right. Go check us out, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Budman, we get right into it. How are you, sir?
Good to see you. Happy holidays to everybody. And we hadn't been here in a couple of weeks. We opted out. I opted out one game. You opted out a game. And it does seem like LSU was able to salvage a 5-5 year. A lot of coaching changes, a lot of transfer portal talk. But to recap and get with everybody, see them beat Florida. And then, of course, you had to say you were a fan of LSU, SHOE. But after that, man, another barn burner, 53-48. And shake that booty, because Kayshon Boutte has been a star, and the last 3 games has really, really shown people what to look forward to. Another great receiver in Tigerland, JP.
Kayshon Boutte looks like the next great one in LSU history. Of course, breaking Josh Reed's record of 292 yards. He had 308 against Ole Miss Rebels. It looked like he had the Michael Thomas treatment. Every time Max Johnson was dropping back, he was looking for number 1, and he definitely delivered against Ole Miss. You go back to the Florida game with LSU. I mean, have you ever seen a game end that way, buddy? I mean, LSU-Florida, always a great rivalry, but the fog that came down, the camera shots from you had to go to the sky cam the entire second half almost, because you didn't have a shot from up top because there was so much fog. Talk about Cade York, a guy that comes in, makes a 57-yarder, longest in LSU history, in the fog, couldn't even see the uprights. What a great game that was. And really, when they beat Florida, a lot of people had confidence that they might be able to compete, if not beat Ole Miss. I picked them to win in a close game. Of course, I had to score too low. LSU delivers. There has been a lot of coaching change so far. Some coaches have been let go. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in this show. As long as we'll talk about some early signing day with Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com.
You know, it's interesting when you talk about that, and Coach O had never seen it before. The only thing that my brain jogged back to was many, many years ago, and I don't even remember what game it was or what teams, but a guy was running for a touchdown, and somebody on the sidelines actually ran on the field and tackled him. Another time many years ago, a guy was running for a touchdown, and this guy put his foot out and tripped him. And, of course, those are the kind of crazy plays that you don't forget.
Right.
And you know, they determine the winners and losers. But the shoe game really restored a lot of confidence in this town. It is amazing. We talk about it all the time, year-round. And traffic is going to be crazy. We know that there have been some positive tests with the COVID, so please be smart, be safe, but don't let any politician tell you how you can do your Christmas. Just be smart about it. But lo and behold, JP, had LSU lost that Florida game, I just don't see them having a lot left in the tank to be able to beat Ole Miss. Not only did they beat Ole Miss, they beat Ole Miss with Stingley. And no Stingley, no T.D. Price,
right.
No John Emery, and
right.
6 starters. And so, really, they righted the ship. And so now you don't have a losing season. Of course, everybody knows LSU opted out of a bowl because of the ongoing situation with Title IX and the NCAA. That being said, then the next step after the Florida win was getting 20 signees on the dotted line. Now, granted, they missed JoJo Earl and Keanu Cott, who both ended up going to Alabama, but they got a JC linebacker, and they got Malik Neighbors, a kid that they wasn't expected to get, some other kids. So they've got 5 left to finish up to get to the 25. And then, of course, the blockbuster news today. A new DC, Bo Pelini's gone. Bill Johnson is going to basically retire and still help out recruiting and be on the staff. Obviously, Bill Bush, who's been a while. And look, Bill Bush was a great recruiter and the main reason they got Joe Burrow here. But the safeties left a lot to be desired this year. And I know you hate to put that on Bush, but Mo Hampton and Todd Harris and Jacoby Stevens all left a bunch to be desired. And then earlier on in the last 24 hours, Scott Linehan, the passing game coordinator, and also Steve Ensminger, the offensive coordinator, they are also going to be. So 5 coaches right now that Coach O will have to replace. And it will be interesting. But what a game in the rain. Look, you know the old axiom and adage about it never rains in Tiger Stadium? That was coming down cats and dogs, and they were able to prevail. But Kayshon Boutte, the next superstar, and look, Max Johnson, look at the stats, folks. Not that we're going to sit here and tell everybody that we all thought Max Johnson should have been starting, but we did, unfortunately. TJ had some obvious accuracy problems, and then when you don't have the ball security at the quarterback, you give up a pick six and a fumble. But look, it's been a nice turnaround. Now the pressure is to get the culture of the team back and get this staff back, because it got a little old and stale. And let's be honest, JP, it's hard to duplicate a national championship and the greatest team ever.
You weren't going to repeat that. I don't think any reasonable fan out there would have thought that the LSU Tigers from this year could have the same kind of season as they had last year. You got to tip your hat to TJ Finley, because LSU needed a quarterback to have a quality start against South Carolina after Miles Brennan went down. The wheels were kind of falling off at that point. TJ Finley came in, had a great start. LSU wins that game. But I'm with you. Max Johnson, he looked like the quarterback of a possible future LSU team. That also brings up the question. Miles Brennan, a junior, can come back, play again for LSU next year. I believe he comes back. But what do? You sit down Max Johnson and TJ Finley, or do you think possibly, looking forward, they might have all 3 of those quarterbacks in the room next year?
Well, and Garrett Nussmeier is one of the early signees. He was the first guy to sign last Wednesday, and, of course, he's going to be in the room. I just think you let it evolve. We don't know the status of Brennan, what he's going to look like. He ended up never playing again this year. Finley, look, there's a possibility he could see the writing on the wall and leave. Don't forget, you got Walker Howard coming in the next year.
That's right.
And the following year after that, you got Arch Manning potentially. LSU is going to be in good shape with quarterbacks. But back to Max Johnson, he's got that it factor. You know, when you're back there. And just like we said with Burrow, with this offensive line, no disgrace, Uglies, because you won the Joe Moore Award in 19. But you got to have somebody that's got some foot speed to get away from the rush, the pocket presence. And look, he only threw 1 interception. That was in the Ole Miss game. So I think 8 touchdowns, 1 INT. But he did a good job of managing the game, doing what they want. And we'll see. But it's a fresh start, and we know that Coach O's got a lot on his plate. You know, he didn't have a great year either, along with the assistants and the players. So you hope you learn from the 5-5, and you got to finish up. Let's be honest, you got to get some big uglies and offensive linemen here in the second signing period, which is going to be, I want to say, 6 weeks from tomorrow. We'll talk to Mike about that in the second half of the show today.
That's right. We have a lot more LSU talk. Also, the Saints played this weekend, dropped their second game in a row to the Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs look like the best team in the NFL. I still take the Saints, when they're fully healthy, to have a very good game and even win a game with a Michael Thomas, with a Cam Jordan the full game. A lot going on in that scenario. Drew Brees also coming back. A lot of rust. Hadn't played in a month. Started the game, I think, 0 for 7, which is the worst in his career. He did get in a groove late. Alvin Kamara also showed why he's so special. Saints very thin at wide receiver. Need to get Michael Thomas back.
Well, all the injuries.
Right.
So many injuries,
They had 3 guys that
JP.
signed off the practice squad the day before.
Practice, I mean, you talk about they're bringing guys off the practice squad. They're bringing guys, Tommy Lee Lewis, to return because Harris has been hurt and Thomas is on IR. And of course, they put in a lot of guys. But, yeah, Drew looked rough. I like the fact that he came back. Unfortunately, and we haven't been on since then. The egg that they laid, look, that's sunglasses material. The way they played against Philadelphia, losing that game, but it looks like they're probably not going to have home field advantage once again in the NFL now because of the crazy scenario and situation. Only one team in each conference will have the bye this year, so we'll wait to see. But Saints are still playing good defense, and I like the fact that Cam Jordan beat himself up on social media because you can't lose your cool and punch somebody and get kicked out of a game. But look, it's been frustrating with the Saints. You just never know which team's going to show up, and we'll see. We know that, as always, they've had some struggles at the offensive line as well. But bottom line is still a lot of football to play. Oh, by the way, Tulane playing in the bowl game right now. So the bowl games, JP, because of the crazy year, normally you have a week or 2 or 3 before you start the bowls. And then that a lot of teams opted out of bowls. And, of course, they're starting. And we know LSU hoops, by the way. This is being taped on a Tuesday. They will play Texas Southern and Johnny Jones on Saturday and then have Texas A&M next Tuesday night. They have missed 3 or 4 games in a row because of COVID issues.
A lot more here on Tigers Roar, but first we take our first break of the evening. Come back and join us. I am Jonathan Poche. He's the Budman Buddy Songy, and you're watching Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Get 0.9% financing for 60 months on every new 21 Mazda, plus 90 days deferred payments during the season of inspiration at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. LSU goes 5-5 in 2020. I never thought we'd see it, Bud, man. After the way they started in the middle of that season, losing Brennan, dropping games by record numbers, Auburn, Alabama. When Florida came around, it was a gift to me, early Christmas gift for me, just to be in that game, much less pull it out in the fashion that they did. Then they play Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin comes to town in Baton Rouge. They said 10,000 would be there. I don't think there was 10,000 there. Katie True, producer in the truck, she was at the game. First game ever, got rained on. What an experience, Bud, man.
Well,
such an exciting game. Bootsy, Max Johnson, the young guys for LSU really left a lasting impression with a cap up this season.
Well, thank you, Dan Mullen, for being so arrogant you didn't dress Kyle Pitts out. Look, the guy didn't practice. I think they should have dressed him out. He wanted to play.
Right.
I would have said, Kyle Pitts, guess what? We may need you today. Dress out. Well, they didn't do that. And then you got Kyle Trask. I think that was the biggest surprise to me, to get 2 INTs and lo and behold, a big fumble and a pickup on a fumble. So LSU did a great job. But what is it? I saw the team at the training table a couple days ago, JP, and they were all having hot dogs. And do you know they had no mustard on the table? You know why?
Why?
Because they already had too much mustard. I mean, whether it's Butte, who dropped the ball at the half-yard line and was recovered by Jontra Kirkland, or Eli Ricks, 2 pick sixes, or once again, dude, in that Florida game, he's trying to show Trask up. He's very lucky. Look, all we're saying is we're not trying to be old fogies here and not have fun, but get across the goal line before you do anything stupid.
Did they not see Brad Wing taunt a little bit on the punt against Florida? I mean, come on.
Well, look, I'm just glad it wasn't called.
Right.
That being said, it's going to be interesting. Neil Farrell, Glenn Logan, Jontra Kirkland, Liam Shanahan, they're trying to get all these guys that have another year, seniors, to come back. We know that LSU is not going to get to 85. They have self-imposed 4 short scholarships the next 2 years, so they'll be at 81 the next 2 years. Going to have some attrition with coaches and players, but I think it's salvageable. Do you realize what this Christmas would have been like had they got beat by Florida and then got beat by Ole Miss? It would be gloomy. By the way, Cade York, the greatest long kicker in LSU history, and if he keeps doing this consistently, he might go down as the greatest place kicker LSU history. But, man, from 57 in the fog, and it had another 7 or 8 yards on it.
The game in the fog, I mean, right before early signing day. I mean, these kids, they verbally commit to these schools, but we've seen it all the time. They flip last minute, go commit to a different school, sometimes the rival of the school they were committed to. LSU, strong showing against Florida right before early signing day, and LSU still right now has one of the top signing classes in the NCAA. That win was huge for everyone. Yes, before the win in Florida, I don't know of a Tiger fan that wasn't asking for Bo Pelini's job. After they beat Florida, they did give up some points, but they did the job. Florida, and then the game against Ole Miss, they had 6 turnovers, 5 interceptions. It was kind of looking like these players, these young guys, were actually finally starting to get a groove in the system, understanding their position, what their role was, working as a team. And that's really what they were lacking the entire season. Yeah, well, unfortunately, and we've had some spicy discussions, and, you know, Bo Pelini is kind of like Notre Dame. You either love him or you want him gone. And I think the biggest problem is twofold. Number one, he's never shown that he can effectively blitz, send pressure, attack, but yet still cover in space and not give up the big play. As you said in that second half against Florida, they had 3 straight 3-and-outs with Trask and Florida. They did improve, but JP still over 600 yards. And when you look at the stats, that's just too much. A lot of overtures, whether it's Derek Mason from Vandy, whether it's Will Muschamp from Carolina. What they want to do is probably bring somebody in here who's already getting a boatload of money, because now LSU's paying off all these contracts. They're not going to be able to go and get a new guy for $2 million a year. So we'll see what happens there. I like Bo, but I just didn't think he fit, and you could tell there was a disconnect. Stingley got to get right back with Derek Stingley. Eli Ricks, you love what he did this year. Jay Ward had 2 INTs against Ole Miss.
and had another acrobatic one against Florida. So he's come on. You still got to get a better linebacker play, and we'll see what happens with the front. But, I just think it's one of those years where you probably need to purge some players and coaches. And now it's imperative that, make the right decision. And they've got to get Tristan Lee and some big uglies on that first Wednesday in February to get some more big uglies in here.
All right, we have some highlights from LSU Ole Miss. We'll ask the truck to please roll those, and we will talk about some outstanding freshman play from both the quarterback and the wide receiver. Defense, of course, showed out. I mentioned the 5 interceptions, 6 turnovers. The game started off with a touchdown from Ole Miss. They got an early lead. Corral, I felt, hurt the Tigers the entire game with his legs.
Yeah, he did. He had over 130 yards rushing. Here's the pick six, Jay Ward taking it to the house. And look, I like the fact that he held on to the ball and ran through the goal line. And of course, that's something that they always do in the end zone with their celebration.
Yeah, Jay Ward definitely came on strong, had the block field goal against Arkansas, came with 2 interceptions in this game, racing another from Phillips. Finally, good to see him have some success. You mentioned the safety play. They have struggled all season.
Todd Harris with an INT. Here's Max Johnson sitting in the pocket. And once again, boy, I tell you what, there's something about all of the young wide receivers that you're going to have a bright future. Here we go. Josh Williams, a walk-on. I think he got a scholarship late this year from Houston. And poor Chris Curry still never scored a touchdown in his 3 years here. Williams did a good job. And as always, we know, look, it's going to be interesting if they change up the play calling. But quarterback sneak is what they like to do inside the one, and they got it through.
That's right. Took him 2 times on that try. Max Johnson gets the touchdown. Right here, though, kind of a backbreaker. You're up by 10 points, and you kick off deep, and he returns at 102 yards.
Well, that's just poor lane assignment. I mean, look at all the LSU players right there. And look, Avery Atkins has kicked it off into the end zone so many times. It's almost like they're upset when they have to. You can't give up those kind of special teams plays.
Right. You feel like the momentum kind of swung right there for Ole Miss. You see Corral again with the play action. He finds himself up in the pocket. It gets tipped, and a great play by Allie Gay right there. You don't want to wait for anybody else to recover that ball. Go ahead and intercept your own fumble. Did the strip sack and the recovery. Allie Gay was making huge plays.
Hope that JC guy comes back because he had a good year at times.
He certainly did. Max Johnson right here, one of many to Keyshawn Boutte. Showed the speed, scored touchdowns. Look, all through camp, when guys like Chase and Terrence Marshall were still on the team, a lot of reporters are talking about that guy, Keyshawn Boutte, and his ability to find the end zone.
All right, here's another one, and they finally started going over the middle. Steve Ensminger calling some really good plays. How cool is that for the kids to be in the end zone?
The best Snapchat in history right there, the most
no doubt about
Snapchat.
It. Here's Corral again, and once again, he dumps it off, and Jabril Cox. Now, he has said he's not coming back. He's going to go ahead and play in the Senior Bowl. But I think he's not a guy that's going to fill up the A-gap, but he did a good job in coverage.
And an outstanding gritty right there. You can tell he's been practicing his new dance he learned in Baton Rouge. Just some pressure by the defensive line, who I thought played outstanding, and another interception by the LSU Tigers. Just a great job covering up their zones, getting their hands on the ball. Jay Ward, great ball skills, and LSU capitalizes right here.
Jay had 3 INTs in the last 2 games. Of course, here you're going to get into the end zone, and once again, this is Ole Miss coming back and trimming the lead, and LSU got up 16, and then all of a sudden had a couple of brain farts, and Ole Miss coming back. Last year, John Wise Plumlee had 200 yards rushing. This year, Corral had about 135. Ole Miss, just their quarterback, gets the yardage on the ground, but Tigers once again give up the touchdown right here on 3rd and goal.
You saw the score 37-21. It's already 37-34. The lead was gone in a hurry. Max Johnson, though, showed a lot of poise for a freshman, stayed tall in the pocket and delivered strikes downfield.
The thing about Boutte that I absolutely love is that he just is so fluid. He puts his foot in the ground. He makes people miss. And when he gets within the 5-yard line, there's just not many people that are going to stop him from the goal line.
We mentioned the 14 catches, 308 yards. Go off, Keyshawn Boutte. Right here, I thought it was okay coverage. Safety got to get a little bit deeper. Stevens did have the big fumble recovery at the end, but he got beat right there.
Safeties have been a real tough spot all year long. They have just not had a great year, all of them. Of course, once again, here is Johnson hitting Boutte. And look, he's not going to run 4-4, but he's just so smooth and he does a good job of getting yards after the catch.
That's right. Great route runner, Keyshawn Boutte, true freshman, showed out all game. This is the first interception of Max Johnson's career. A bad decision, but I think him and the wide receiver were on different pages right there.
I thought it'd be a back shoulder toss, and unfortunately he didn't do that. Of course, Ole Miss gets in here right here, and as we know, what a great play Corral.
Yep.
Comes in here, and lo and behold, he got a little bit of the black and white.
Yeah, this referee, you got
to
blame the referee. I mean, the quarterback's running, looking at the defensive player, the referee's standing, looking at him coming. I know the play fake, they might have had to start stare a little bit too long inside, but boom, head to head. Referee did leave with a bloody head. LSU staff took good care of him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, for the most part, I guess here we go, another short yardage situation, and Max Johnson gets in for another sneak. And so now it's 48-46. They go for 2. And if I remember correctly here, they do not make the 2-point conversion. So they're down 2 points, 48-46 late.
Thought it would be another Cade York moment, but Max Johnson and Keyshawn Boutte, they took things to their own hands after a big sack by Neil Farrell.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Farrell is thinking about coming back. So is Glenn Logan. So is some of the other guys. And obviously you need bodies. And a lot of those guys, because they're not having a training table, once again, a big play. Neil Farrell, very, very happy. He was heavy all year long. Once again, this was a guy that wasn't going to play and came back up out of the transfer portal, actually the opt-out. So here's a great play, JP.
This was in the opening. Keyshawn Boutte, his 3rd touchdown of the game, and breaking the record by Josh Reed, really making himself an instant legend in Tigers lore.
And he just is not going to get stopped. Watch, you'll see it again. He's over the middle with a quick slant. Great pass, but here, I love the spin move, but watch his legs. Just watch his core body right now. When he makes this cut, he's not even worried about a guy bringing him down. It's like, it's a little mosquito or a fly. And you don't have to run 4-4 when you have these kind of ball skills and you run after the catch like Boutte.
That's great. Great running ability, excellent balance. I mean, you kind of see that kind of move out of Alvin Kamara, just absorb the contact and score a touchdown. Here's the last play for Ole Miss.
And how fitting is this?
To see Jacoby Stevens jump on that ball, great for number 7. Great way to end out his LSU defensive career.
Well, he's been a guy that has been one of the leaders, and it hadn't been easy for him, with everything that's going on with COVID and obviously not playing up to their level. And I don't think he had a great year. I think the guy fits as a linebacker at the next level, and I think Jabril Cox is more of a safety at the next level. Of course, Cox was playing linebacker and Jacoby was playing safety. We'll see how they go. But we wish the best of all those guys that are going to leave. As we said, another handful are going to be in the transfer portal when it's all out. So you're going to have a program once again for 2021.
We'll take our next break of the evening here on Tigers Roar. A lot more LSU talk, including more of that coaching turnover and who Budman might expect to fill some of these shoes. Some of the names are already being tossed around. The rumor mill is already heating up. LSU, a premier destination in college football. Who are they going to get? Who they're going to replace, and who's going to stick around but maybe in a different role. Come back and join us right here on Tigers Roar.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer welcomes you to our biggest clearance sale of the year, the Happy Honda Days sales event. Get year-end clearance pricing on over 900 new Hondas, plus a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Honda. Save thousands on your new Honda right here at Team Honda.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
I've seen a lot of things during my life, more bad things than good. I've lived in a lot of places, but never a home. I don't think anybody cares about me anymore. And now, I'm tired. Signed, Brian, age 11.
Abused and neglected children in East Baton Rouge Parish are in dire need of CASA volunteers. Please call 379-8598 today. Change a life of hurt into a life of hope.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
And a special Christmas edition of Tigers Roar. Yours truly, Buddy Songy, along with JP. Kudos to you, JP. Great year for you, lining up all the film and all of the shows. And you, Marty, Alan, Bert, everybody, Katie, everybody in the truck. And we hope that each and every one of you have a safe and merry and blessed Christmas. And we give out this award, and he's done it for 2 years in a row. JP, we had the committee meeting, and it was unanimous. Our caller of the year again in 2020. PFM Paul from Mandeville. Congratulations, PFM. And how are you doing? And let's get right into it. You being a big LSU fan, what did you take from this 5-5 year this season?
Man, look, it was an impressive finish to go from where you were and the team not knowing who was going to show up from week to week, not just physically, but mentally not knowing who was going to show up looking to fight from week to week. That was an impressive turnaround to finish the year with a couple of good wins.
JP and I were just talking about Pelini, and he thought that they made some progress the last couple of weeks. Of course, it's been reported that Steve Ensminger wanted to go to the House, and he'll continue to be in a role, but not as the OC. Linehan not offered back. Of course, the same thing with Bill Bush, and then Bill Johnson is going to probably get in a rocking chair. But your take on the 5 coaches, and if you thought this was needed, or if this is a last, hoorah for O, or is this something that you thought was, expected?
Yeah, look, I think it was expected and inevitable. I'll always appreciate Bill Bush for what he did with us, bringing in Joe Burrow, because without Bill Bush, you don't get Joe Burrow. So, it's something you want to thank the guy for his service. Obviously, there was a bunch of conflict in the room between him and Corey Raymond, and you really don't need a, quote, safeties coach. He was there for recruiting, and it was time. It was time for him to move on. That sometimes that just happens. Look, the Bill Pelini thing, I had very high expectations there, and I really thought he was going to do great things. When you look at the last 2 games, and you look at a team that created 9 turnovers in the last 8 quarters, you're making some progress there. What's inexcusable is to not spy the quarterback in the early second half of the Ole Miss game when the guy's running all over the place. There's some things that we saw that were amiss there. But look, I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to point the finger at Slinger, at Steve Ensminger a little bit. You had a run maybe from the end of the second quarter into the third quarter of 10 minutes of actual football time where the LSU offense ran 7 plays. That can't happen. And you're already playing with 55 players, and you wonder why the defense is gassed and going, well, Bo can't stop them. Well, what do you want the man to do when you got a roster of 55? It's like you're on probation. That's fighting with handcuffs on, brother. So, again, Slinger, thank you for your service to LSU. He's been a good lifelong Tiger. But let's not sugarcoat it. for the type of offense we had in 18 and then skip 19 where it was Joe Brady, and we're right back to the 2018 offense in 2020. It's time for a change, and we're pushing all the right buttons from what I can see.
JP, we heard a lot of this stuff off the field, and I think when Coach O really blew that gasket at Pelini and went crazy, I guess that was the Alabama game, I think. You knew there was probably going to be a parting of the ways, but look, when you get 2-3 for 3 years and you're guaranteed, now they worked out a settlement here, and he'll get one check, but man alive, let's be honest, there's a lot of pressure out at LSU, and as we know, right. PFM and JP, that honeymoon gets over real quick when you come out of the gate, and Alabama's got 45 on you in the halftime, and Nick Saban actually got nice in the second half. And, of course, look, guys, LSU fans, that's their pride and joy. The Chinese bandits and the defense. And from a statistical standpoint, guys, that was, I think, something that Pelini couldn't over. And the other thing, JP, that he just mentioned, didn't make enough good adjustments. Whether it's Mississippi State, whether it's any of these other games, you got to make adjustments at halftime. I didn't see that with Coach Pelini to warrant him coming back again.
I mean, like Paul said, the offense 2018 was almost a repeat of what we had this season. And you go from Ensminger and Brady to Ensminger and Scott Linehan. And Linehan's just another old white guy. I mean, they don't have a new cutting-edge philosophy like Joe Brady. I mean, the offense of 2019, that was like the new bar of the NCAA. Other teams try to emulate what LSU Tigers did last season with their routes, with their combinations, with their man-plus zone beaters. And then they had great wide receivers. And yeah, Keyshawn Boutte came on strong late after Marshall had already passed on. But LSU did lose a lot outside. Even though they had some young guys that could make plays, look, the defense was a problem. LSU still scored points on offense, but never really put all three phases of the game together in a single game. I mean, Cade York bails him out in a fog mess in Florida. If he misses that kick, can you really blame that kid for missing that kick in the fog in a huge spot late in the game? If you lose that game to Florida, the outlook on this season is completely different heading into the offseason.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Paul, anybody that you expect to come back, whether they're a senior or somebody you looking forward to? And look, we gave major props, 6 starters not lining up against Ole Miss. I thought Chris Curry was going to get in the end zone. Unfortunately, the kid never scored a touchdown, but we wish him the best. I think that Oklahoma game was his best as a Tiger. But look, to win that with both of your running backs hurt and once again Stingley out, Eli Ricks, to show you the reputation he's already gotten and garnered. Do you know Ole Miss threw 1 or 2 balls at him the whole night? That's how impressive that young man is. Now, look, you don't have to put mustard on a hot dog because he's got plenty of it already, as we know. But he's a lockdown. If you get Stingley right, now with Jay Ward and bringing in more corners, got to get better safety play, got to get better linebacker play, and you hope some of those big D linemen come back. Jaquilin Roy, I think, has got a big future here, JP and Paul.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to give Ed credit for this. And after the Alabama game, he made the statement, we're going to find out who really wants to be a Tiger and who doesn't. And you saw a lot of that at the end. And look, both from coaches and from players, what Tiger Nation expects is attitude and effort, brother. Don't quit. Don't lay down. You fight until the last whistle. And we saw that from a bunch of guys, so I was glad to see it. Look, I think Liam Shanahan comes back. I think they talk him into that. And don't be surprised if we don't get the other Harvard lineman who's transferring out of Harvard, was committed to Auburn, and you don't think he's Liam Shanahan's former teammate, that Liam's not in his ear. And I think there's plenty of upside to that. That guy may even be further along than what Shanahan was when he came into the program. So you got to secure the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's key. You got to see some guys get healthy like Tank Guillory. But what we have coming in from a defensive line standpoint is so doggone impressive. It wouldn't surprise me if LSU has the best D-line in the country for the next 2 years coming.
Ooh, well, I'm going to see him, but I will say this, JP. Seeing Mason Smith in that 94 when he signed with LSU, last Wednesday. Very impressive. Jaqueline Roy, other guys coming in, all the pieces to the puzzle. And, it'll be interesting to see as we get into 2021, A, are they going to have a legitimate spring? B, are we going to have regular football without the mask? And will the vaccine give people confidence to go back in and get the crowds back in? I mean, when you look at this year, I don't think we're ever going to experience anything like it ever again, at least hopefully not, JP.
I mean, yeah, at least if we go through some semblance of this year in 2021, at least we'll kind of know what to expect. I mean, 2020 taught you to expect the unexpected. Hopefully there's some form of real normalcy, not this new norm, but real normalcy in next season for LSU.
Hey, man, have a great Christmas. Stay safe, and we will talk with you. Of course, we're not doing radio this week. We'll be back in the saddle next Monday and talking about bowl games and all these coaching changes. And so appreciate you, my man, and you and the family have a great Christmas.
You too, my friend. Very appreciated. Thank you.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Once again, PFM, our caller of the year, as we wrap up a little bit of Tigers Roar and Buddy Sports Talk this week. And look, it's, I'm going to talk about the Saints real quick before we go to another break. And give me what you think. I was a little surprised. Oh, by the way, I've given up my predictions. Michael Thomas has not gotten in the end zone this year.
And he won't in the regular season.
Well, and so I thought that Kansas City kind of controlled it. Oh, by the way, they're hoping that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a high ankle sprain and he can get back with the playoffs. He's out for the rest of the regular season. Once again, Cam Jordan, and they've had their moments. I like Quan Alexander with 56. I like that job. And by the way, Fabio had a chance to score a touchdown, and instead it ended up being 2 points, ended up being a 5-point swing because he couldn't get his hair out the helmet.
I don't know why you brought that play up, bud, man. I've been thinking about it for like 3 days. Go back to Florida and Anzalone, right? I mean, oh, man, heartbreaker. The Saints, Drew Brees. I like the move to bring him back, get the rust off now in a game that was going to be tough to win regardless. Then you throw out Taysom Hill for another game you don't expect to win. At least Drew Brees comes in, gets the rust off, gets in the groove a little bit, got some good game time experience with a couple of young receivers. Lil Jordan Humphrey made a nice play late in that game. There. He also was a guy who had a very strong preseason back when the NFL had preseason. Not this season, of course, but last season for the Saints. A guy that might get some playing time moving forward. You mentioned Tommy Lee Lewis coming back, having to bring back the punts and the kicks. Deontay Harris, that guy is a spark plug.
He's a difference maker, man.
Back a year ago when Drew Brees was out, Teddy Bridgewater goes up to Seattle and tries to start his first game, right? Start his first game on the road. Deontay Harris returns punt return for a touchdown. The whole game flipped. That guy could be instant offense. He is sorely missed. Of course, you know about the struggles of Mike Thomas and getting on the field. Drew Brees, Mike Thomas, one of the most dynamic duos in the NFL, have only played on the same field for 10 quarters in the 2020 season. That's not good.
Yeah. Hey, one other topic to bring up, because we are mixing a couple of shows here together, but a lot of talk from the Corona brothers, the Ross Dellingers, and all these guys that said, oh, we can't play football and all this other stuff. Well, we know there's some controversy as the CFP has announced their Final Four. Mm-hmm. And after saying that we shouldn't play and all this other jibber-jabber that they had, the season came about, and we know that there were quite a bit of cancellations, postponements, and tweaking. But when it comes push to shove, Alabama won playing Notre Dame 4 in Jerry's Palace and in the Sugar Bowl in front of 3,000, Clemson and Notre Dame. So my take, Clemson, Ohio State. Right. My question to you, I kind of predicted it. Notre Dame was undefeated, and this happens all the time. This is just the eyeball test for me, though. I did not think Texas A&M had enough on their resume. They beat Florida, and they lost to Bama. But other than that, they didn't really have a significant win. And so I kind of thought Notre Dame would be 4 playing Alabama, because if you brought A&M at 4, you got a replay of Alabama and A&M, and nobody wants that. I think the two best teams, once again, are Clemson and Alabama, and we'll find out. But Ohio State only playing 6 games, and they have cheated and tweaked And you know how you're growing up and you play ball and we say, hey, we're going to play to 11, and all of a sudden I'm down and I say, let's play to 21. That's what the Big Ten did. They kept changing and moving the goalposts. So now they let them play even though they only had 5 regular season games. And now they're even changing the protocol on the COVID from 21 to 17 days. So they did everything to get them in there. My question to you, do you think they got it right, or did you want to see somebody else in there?
Unfortunately, how the numbers laid out, I think they got it right. But the problem is with the committee. I mean, how long is it going to take for them to realize Notre Dame is not on the upper echelon of teams in NCAA? You have Clemson, Alabama. There's usually a couple of teams. Ohio State's definitely one, in my opinion, even though they only played 6 games. But Notre Dame, they're 20.5-point underdogs, I think, to Alabama. I think the game's going to be worse than that. I mean, it's going to be Alabama-Clemson. I think right now Vegas says if Clemson does play Alabama, it's going to be a 7-point favorite towards Alabama. These are the 2 best teams in college football. You're going to see Notre Dame get beat badly by Alabama again in primetime in the playoff, and maybe then some people will wake up and say, this team's perennially overrated.
But the problem you have is that Cincinnati, which was going all along 8-0, they have 2 games where they can't play them because of the COVID protocol, and they dropped. Now, look, there were some major faux pas. Florida was up highly ranked with 3 losses. Oklahoma ends up being 6, and they lost their first 2 games, and we know how bad the Big 12 is. So there's no doubt it is slanted towards the Power 5 conferences, but I just didn't see enough of Cincinnati or other teams to get into the Final Four, and yet a lot of these Corona bras all wanting that to happen. Look, bottom line is I think we need to see this thing move to 8. I've never really said this before, but now because these bowl games, if you aren't a part of the Final Four, they're becoming more and more obsolete. And, oh, by the way, Kyle Pitts is not going to play in the bowl game. I mean, this is becoming more commonplace. So I'd like to see them at least discuss and analyze whether they need to expand it and move it to 8.
My question for you, Bud, man. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the video circulating social media of the Ohio State head coach Ryan Day post-game when they found out they'd be playing in the playoff. You seen it?
Yeah.
And will social media and mainstream media attack Ryan Day like Coach O got attacked post-game when they beat Alabama, saying roll tide, you know the rest? Will Ryan Day be persecuted publicly for that? Because, I mean, it was a private moment with him and his team that was captured on video phone by one of his players, then leaked on social media.
But you gotta start telling these kids, get your phones off.
Bud, man, you can't take these phones from these kids.
I know it,
it's attached.
But do you see how it came back to bite LSU in the butt?
Will it bite Ohio State in the butt? That's my question.
All I know is Jim Harbaugh is horrible, and if Michigan doesn't get rid of him, they'll never win anything. He's the most overrated coach in all of college football, and that's saying something, my friend.
I read a tweet that said the best thing Jim Harbaugh has done as the head coach of Michigan is dodge the Ohio State Buckeyes in that game that got postponed or canceled because of COVID, and that might be a sad fact.
But we want to thank everybody out there for tuning in. I know we've been a little shaky with our consistency here on Tiger Roar, and some of that has been me, so I take the hit and the fall for that. But we hope that we get some normalcy back because it has been a crazy, crazy year. We'll take a quick break. We're going to talk to Rivka over at La Contea, also Mike Scarborough at TigerBait.com, and, of course, get your fielders' predictions as we wrap up another edition of Tiger's Roar
Come
on
back and
Tuesday right here on The Pelican.
That's right, Bud, man. Great job.
Taste the feeling.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
At Team Toyota, Toyotathon is underway. It's your chance to save during our biggest sale of the year. Get our lowest prices and our lowest payments on every new Toyota. Plus, get a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Toyota. Right now at Team Toyota.
And we welcome you back coming in here on this Tuesday evening. Don't forget, we'll be replayed on Tiger's Roar tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Hope everybody has a safe and Merry Christmas. We are now joined by the lovely Miss Rivka over at La Contea. Folks, if you hadn't been over to La Contea, what have you been waiting for? It is the best little Italian in all of Baton Rouge. Rivka, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and let's get right into it. We've got something special over at La Contea for not only Christmas Eve, but New Year's Eve.
Yes, we do. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. We are looking forward to the holidays, looking very busy for Christmas Eve. So if you haven't called and made your reservations now, I would definitely go ahead and call without waiting any more time. We still have plenty of openings for New Year's Eve, and I'm really excited to see what the end of the year has for us.
Well, we give you a great shout out on the radio all the time and TV as well, folks. 7970 Jefferson Highway, Suite F. Rivka, you guys are doing Christmas Eve. It's very busy. Let's talk about what you have on tap and any special items that you'll be serving up to bring in the holidays.
You know, we have all of our seafood dishes this week. Our steaks are to die for. You know, you haven't tried our burgers yet, but they are absolutely delicious. We have a beautiful holiday cocktails, the Jack Frosty with your coconut rum tequila, and it's going to be a beautiful night to celebrate. Everyone come out for a little bit of wine with their meal. You can do a cheese board appetizer with 4 cheeses, some Italian meats, and crackers. Or you could do my favorite, the arancini. That, I love that arancini more than anything.
Yes, you do. And, of course, we always joke about it, folks. You don't need to go to the gym. All you have to do is go to La Cantea and get the best mussels, marinara, and all of Baton Rouge. Incredible seafood, great steaks. Once again, let's give them hours of what you're working, and you will be working Christmas Eve. You'll be off on Christmas. If you could, just kind of give us a rundown of the schedule this week and the following week.
Yes. Christmas Eve coming up in a couple days. We are open our regular hours, except we extended our hours another hour to 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve, December the 24th. We will be closed for business on Christmas Day to give everyone a nice little holiday, and we will be reopened on Saturday the 26th, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then for New Year's, we'll be open on New Year's Eve, kind of like lingering out. We haven't set a close time, just kind of seeing how people wander in and staying open as long as possible. And then New Year's Day, we will be closed for another little holiday, but then we'll be reopened right after that as well.
Well, listen, folks, if you're looking for a last-minute gift, get you a gift card from La Cantea. Once again, the phone number is 726-7903. It is the best Italian in all of Baton Rouge. And Rivka, we also want to give you great applause and kudos for the way you and Alfredo and Austin and everybody over there have done such a good and safe job with curbside service and to go. So if you could give them an idea about how that works.
Well, we are doing, curbside delivery still. Everybody has been so generous during this whole pandemic. So we have exceedingly tried to make everyone feel comfortable coming out. If you are not comfortable coming to dine in with us for the holidays, we are doing curbside delivery to your car, and you can place an order about 30 minutes before you want to pick it up, and we will have it ready for you hot and ready to go home to your family safely. And I've had plenty of people doing that. I think it's still a very common theme, and we are trucking right along towards hopefully being COVID-free very soon.
Hey, real quick, I did have somebody text me this afternoon if they want a pan of lasagna or spaghetti and meatballs or something like that. How many days in advance do they need to call you?
If you are calling us about something like a classic Italian fare and you just want to do like a pan of lasagna, spaghetti, fettuccine alfredo with chicken or shrimp, I really just need 2 hours in advance for us to know what to make and for when. And you can pick it up in about 2 to 3 hours after you place the order.
Well, it's been crazy. We were going to have a Christmas party. It's been so nuts, but I'm going to bring the guys and the staff over here, and Katie and everybody else we're going to bring over there. So after the new year, we're going to come in there, and I want to make sure that they understand just how good it is. It's consistent. It's safe. Once again, incredible protocol that we go at every length to make sure that we have our mask on and the tables are cleaned and you're going to feel safe. There's always entertainment, and just a real big thank you from the bottom of our heart. As you know, we feed a lot of people, and JP, I got to tell you, man, when you feed these kids menu items for $4.99, they can't get enough of it. Best bread in all of Baton Rouge. And once again, 726-7903. Gift cards available. And as always, Rivka, your final comments here as you wish everybody a great Christmas. And kudos to you because you've done such an incredible job at the restaurant this year.
Thank you, buddy. I couldn't do it without the staff that I have here. They really are like family. We spend so much time together. It's like, working with your family every day, especially Alfredo and everyone in the kitchen. And we just wish everybody a happy new year and hope that next year brings us bigger and better things to look forward to.
Thank you, Boo. Love you. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you real soon.
All right.
All right, Rivka over here at La Cantea. And I'm going to bring it over here for one of the Tigers Roar You a spaghetti and meatballs guy, lasagna, manicotti, what?
I watched that La Cantea commercial at least 6 times a day during the other shows.
Yes,
I need some of that pizza they have over there.
Holy
Looks delicious.
cow.
Look, the portions too. I mean,
Well, listen,
La
this is
Cantea.
the biggest pizza box, and we didn't mention it, folks. You can get 2 unbelievably big pizzas, 1 topping with cheese, $19.99. And I'm telling you, I don't care how much the kids eat, they can't go through 2 pieces. It's really good, very consistent, great sponsor. And of course, one thing about it, we all go up and down with our weight, and we know that this time of year it's hard to get on the scale, JP.
I don't even look at the scale bar, man. But I did ask for a gym membership for Christmas. I don't usually set New Year's resolutions. I got to do it in 2021, trim off some of this excess weight. A lot more here on Tigers Roar. Of course, we want to thank La Cantea for everything they do for the show. You check out the commercials each and every day here on the Pelican. Go check it out. Great food. They still have the live singing with the whole COVID going on in the commercials. Talk about
Off and on, depending on what phase we're in.
yeah, that looks entertaining. Always good to have a dinner and a show, but
yeah,
La Cantea.
but trust me, you will not be disappointed. As always, JP, great job, and we'll come back with Mike Scarborough. Get an update on everything that's happened along with this signing class right back here on another edition of Tigers Roar, right here, live from the Pelican.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
And we welcome you back. We saved the best for last as we bring in Mike Scarborough and JP. We say it at the end of the show, but what a lot of people procrastinate. By the way, are you done Christmas shopping?
Almost.
Okay.
Still got one thing for the wife I got to get.
I got a bunch of stuff. Mike hadn't finished his, but what a great Christmas present to get a membership to Tiger Bait. Mike, easiest way to get that is how, and happy holidays, and certainly we appreciate all you've done with radio and TV this year.
Y'all too, Merry Christmas, and it's right there on the front page of TigerBait.com. If you see the little Santa Claus image, you click on that, and within a few clicks, you can get a TigerBait.com gift card. It's a digital gift card, and we've had a run on them in the last 2 days, and I even had 3 renewals from last year today. People that bought them last year as a gift, and they're giving them again this year. If you give that to an LSU fan, they're going to use it every day of the year, I promise you.
All right, let's get in because we haven't had you on since the recruiting signing period last Wednesday. Let's get right into it. How'd the Tigers do? And tell us the most important guys to sign on the dotted line the last time LSU ended up with 20 signees. Bryce Langston was a late one that wasn't released until Friday. But give us the run of the mill on where you think the Tigers got some real special players coming in.
Yeah, look, I think it's a very good recruiting class. Obviously, the one position they need to finish out with here in the remaining weeks, heading to the second period in February, is offensive line. I think they're looking really good for Macchianoli, the Florida offensive lineman that's currently committed to Florida State that didn't sign last week. I've got some. I really think that that's trending very, very well for LSU right now. So, but last week, obviously, the big need areas that were fulfilled, running back, safety, defensive line, and, you got a hell of a quarterback, a couple of running backs, all the wide receivers you need. And so now it's just the rest of the way, find you some offensive linemen and, see how that plays out the rest of the way. Maybe hold out a spot or two to see what you might need in the spring. That might very well be wise because with the coaching vacancies you're going to fill, and those guys get to come in, new coaches, and see what they're working with in their position room. It might be very smart to hold a couple of spots back for a grad transfer or any transfer.
Right, you got to dominate both sides of the line to be successful in the SEC. LSU lands a big commit from the number 1 prospect in Louisiana, Mason Smith. The guy's a freak. I mean, he heels with the jersey. It looks like it's a T-shirt on him, a very large human. That's only going to get better, right, Mike?
Yeah, he's fantastic. Beast of a kid, moves so well, burst, long arms. He's got everything you're looking for, and, he's easily one of the top 100 prospects in the country. Some say he's the best in the country. I think there's several high-quality kids in the state for this year, and he's one of them. Of course, I have Savion Jones from St. James a little bit ahead of him. Savion Jones is my number 1 player in Louisiana. Yeah. But, you're talking 2 5-stars, and then you got Sage Ryan at Lafayette Christian as safety. All 3 of those guys are, top 25, top 30 national recruits.
Yeah, Mason looks like he fits well with Jaquelin Roy. Of course, Roy has been coming on, playing better and better. JP, the thing I noticed about Mason Smith is he lost some baby fat, man. Mike, what does he look like to you? 305, 310? I know he was 320, 325, but, man, he looks like he can be ready to play. And, of course, conjecture about Neil Farrell and maybe Glenn Logan and some other guys coming back. And so you would hope that D-line would be a better more consistent and obviously have a lot of potential.
My worry about that is now you're going to have some guys that have been in the program for 4 years, and you're going to, which makes them kind of guys that are kind of set in their ways, and all of a sudden you're going to want them to come back and adjust to a new position coach that they don't know. Usually those older guys, it's easier to do that with a freshman, but some of these older guys, that might be a harder sell. So I'm going to be real. Then wonder what's going to happen with Christian Locatour. We've been waiting for him to maybe get elevated, but there's a whole lot of ifs here with Ensminger out and Linehan out, and now you're Craig's still there. But if you hire an offensive coordinator, most offensive coordinators want their own offensive line coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Does Corey Raymond all of a sudden get safeties back, and he's got the full defensive back room again? A lot of questions here. There's going to be a lot of news here in the coming weeks.
Bo Davis, a guy that potentially could be the D-line coach, Derek Mason, and others getting a look-see at D.C. Mike, I guess the question is, does LSU continue 4-3? They go back 3-4? Is it not yet determined at this point?
Man, I tell you what, I don't know what y'all think about the Derek Mason possibility. I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah.
I don't really know. We know that he's a good, solid coach, and that obviously he's got an excellent acumen, but it's about the fit, and I think JP.
I don't know that helps you get recruits.
Yeah. Well, that's what we wanted to ask you about, because Mr. Davis out in California decommitted as soon as he found out that Bo Pelini was not going to be here. Your final five that you have, and if you could give us a skinny on Savion Jones, if that's just going to be announced in February, or is he still hadn't signed yet?
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing to worry about with Savion Jones. He's all LSU, no issues there. I just think, now the rest of the way, you see a big campaign today where a bunch of LSU recruits are tweeting at Tristan Lay to come to LSU. I think it's looking kind of thin for LSU, but we'll see how it turns out. I kind of watch what Tristan does on Twitter, and it sure seems like a whole lot of Oklahoma. So, of course, last week the thought was if he had signed on signing day, it might have been Florida. So we'll see how it plays out. I just don't know if you replace James Craig, if you have any chance of getting Macchianoli or Tristan Lee. Yeah. That's kind of a precarious spot. On one hand, the offensive coordinator usually wants his offensive line coach, but then LSU's in a spot where they need offensive linemen, and they can't get rid of. They couldn't make a move on Craig. Plus, he won the Joe Moore Award last year.
And he got a nice raise to about 600,000+. So once again,
you got two crackerjack kids that are leaning LSU's way that like him for next year.
Yeah, right. So with all this money that they're having,
I haven't been. I don't. Maybe some of y'all's listeners and callers are anti-Craig. I haven't been. I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think he stays. What we want to say here, though, JP, you're already getting rid of 5 contracts with Pelini, Linehan, Ensminger, and Bush, and who's the last one? The other one. Anyway, 5
Johnson.
of them. Huh?
Johnson.
Yeah, Bill Johnson. Thank you.
If you end up with Derek Mason, is that basically Woodward sending a signal that you're getting Derek Mason because Vanderbilt's paying the bulk of his salary? You're getting him on the cheap because I'm not hiring a bunch of high-priced coordinators and giving them 2- and 3-year guaranteed contracts if you don't win 8 games next year.
Well, I think that's part of the deal. I just don't think, money doesn't go on trees, and we know that Scott Woodward did. He wanted Bo Pelini. They had a friendship, and that was ridiculous. They gave him $2.3 for 3 years, but sometimes you have a faux pas. And Mike, bottom line is that because of all this money that was outlaid to this last staff, you're not going to be able. You need a Will Muschamp, a Derek Mason, some other coaches that are getting paid from other schools.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, he needs some home run hires, but can you make the home run hires? What Woodward constraining him at all?
Are you hearing Bo Davis as a D-line coach possible?
Well, the thing about Bo Davis is he had a show cause.
I think that's gone now.
Yeah. I mean, you have to get permission from the SEC, I was told.
Yeah.
But I know a few years ago the thought was that Bo Davis could never get hired at LSU.
Yeah.
But but time heals that show cause.
All right, let's talk about guys that we always get this question. Guys that you think are going to come right in and play. Or this class that just got signed. Sage Ryan, where do you project him? Mason Smith, where do you project him? And now with all these attrition at wide receiver, who do you have coming in that can step up? And
well, the thing with Mason is, look, he's one of those tall body defensive linemen, which can be tricky. How does that translate to the next level? Body-wise and physical-wise, he reminds me of Joe Barksdale, and we know where he ended up. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with Mason Smith, but I think either way he can be an All-SEC lineman on, depending on where he goes. And I'm not saying he's going to end up like Joe Barksdale, but tall defensive lineman. We'll see how that works out. But Sage Ryan's a safety, and who else did you want to know?
Any other guys that you think are going to come in and push for playing time and to get in the 2 deep?
I think Savion Jones and Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson says he'll be 100% in April. I think he plays as a freshman.
Of course, linebacker Mike obviously got a junior college kid that was committed to Mississippi State. Also, Malik Neighbors was a wide receiver / corner committed to Mississippi State that switched. Those two guys flipped and came to LSU. Lost JoJo Earl and Keanu Cott. Talk a little bit about some of the goings-on. It's just part of recruiting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think overall, like I said, it was a strong day, and you mentioned LSU getting the two from Mississippi State, and I know they love the linebacker. I'm told they compare him to Patrick Queen. We'll see if that ends up being an apt comparison. You also added Armani Goodwin, the running back that was committed to Auburn. Now you're looking at another Harvard lineman that was committed to Auburn that's a grad transfer. So that's likely going to be another offensive lineman in the class. So, you got the kid out at Snow College you put out as top 3 in junior college, and LSU's in there with Texas A&M. So we're going to see how this plays out now.
All right, so you're saying on Twitter and social media, Tristan Lee is looking like Oklahoma. That's a good thing. You know why? That's 6 weeks ago, man. But he is a must-get, JP and Mike, because he's the 5-star offensive lineman. By the way, people want to know about Garrett Dellinger, if he's a right tackle and Lee's a left tackle, Mike.
We'll see when he gets here. You always hope they're a left.
I don't know. It seemed like they were coming to take us away with all the fire engines behind us.
I went and saw Will Campbell Friday night, and he's the best left tackle I've seen in Louisiana since Lael Collins in 2011.
Hey, a question I got today, even though we wasn't on the air with radio, how quickly do you think Coach O makes these hires of the 5 departures that have been released the last couple days? Is it imperative that he get them in before the final signing period, the first Wednesday in February, or is he going to take us?
Do your due diligence, make a bunch of calls, talk to as many people as you can. Don't rush it, but also try and get it done as quick as you can. So I'm told defense will be first, and then but I'm sure they're working all of it. We got a lot of names being bandied about for defense, but I am not hearing any names on offense yet.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it works out. As we said, a lot of money involved, and if you can get somebody on the cheap, you probably will if they were getting paid by another college at this point.
Well, I like the defensive coordinator at Cincinnati. He'd be my number 1.
Well, a lot of people talked about him, and we had that discussion. Mike, did you think that the CFP got it right with the Final Four?
Yeah, but I'm also seeing, again, it's another year where the BCS would have gotten it right. They're talking about expanding to a playoff of 16. I say you go in the other direction and go right back to the BCS. The playoffs have ruined college football. Absolutely ruined it.
Well, it's taken a lot of the emphasis away from the bowl games, JP.
Name 1 year in the last, since the playoffs that the BCS wouldn't have gotten it right.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Well, they brought the computers.
Bowl's irrelevant. I'm talking to an Aggie friend of mine, and he's all excited about the Orange Bowl. And I'm like, well, because of the playoffs, nobody's going to remember that you're playing North Carolina in a year or two.
By the way,
It's irrelevant.
Did you think A&M deserved that 4th spot, or you thought it should go to Notre Dame?
No, indeed. If LSU would have had about 20% more offense in that game, they would have beat A&M.
Yeah. Mike, let's wrap up once again by telling them what you do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and obviously our Christmas special that you have. Any of you Tiger fans out there, whether it's your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, your brother, whoever, this is a very incredible gift, and it's got great value, Mike.
Yeah, I'm about to put out working on a hot board right now for a defensive coordinator. Lots of great discussion and on our Tiger Den Premium message board. If you go to the front page of Tiger Bait, if you want to give yourself a subscription, you can in a few clicks be a premium subscriber. And if you're already a subscriber, you want to give it as a gift subscription. Just look for the gift card story right there on the front page, and you can get a digital gift card and have someone an annual subscription in a hurry.
All right, my man, we will do radio next week, so we'll get you next Wednesday. And for you and your family, bring it in the right way. Stay safe. Hope you have a blessed Christmas. And once again, folks, tigerbait.com. Mike Scarborough been with us a long time. Does a great job. And, JP, I can't tell you the number of times that Mike was traveling to a high school game, shooting film, doing Facebook. I mean, it's hard to be married when you work these kind of hours.
I mean, he had all that going on and still made time for us each and every time here on Tigers Roar. Certainly appreciate you, Mike. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Stay safe out there, brother.
Y'all too. Merry Christmas to everybody.
All right, thank you, Mike. And as I said, puts in a lot of time. He went the extra mile to get all these kids, and that's what I like. I like seeing these guys tape.
Yep.
The problem that you have is, as you know, in a high school game, you are only generally going up against maybe one other guy who's good enough to play at the next level. So you gotta watch and see all the little intricate details. But boy, Mason Smith, Mike says he's too tall. I think him and Jaquil Roy got a chance to be starting D tackles next year.
Okay, we're gonna go to our last break of the evening. Come back and put a big old bow on this episode of Tigers Roar. Once again, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a very happy holiday. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A great way to keep up with everything we do here at the Pelican. Come back and join us right after this break.
It's a male
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Taste the feeling.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Get 0.9% financing for 60 months on every new 21 Mazda, plus 90 days deferred payments during the season of inspiration at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Continue here on Tigers Roar, ready to put a bow on this episode. Bud, man, Christmas is just around the corner. This will be our last episode for 2020. We made it. 2021 will be the next time we do a Tigers Roar. I am looking forward to it. Get this year out of the way. But once again, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Don't forget the real reason for the season. He still is Savior, even though 2020 has had a lot of unknown. Keep the faith. Christmas is there for a reason. Remember the real reason.
You just said the key word. You got to have the faith, and we know it's been a tough year for many of you. You've lost some loved ones. You've had craziness. It's hard to believe. When December 15 got here, that was 9 months with the pandemic. We hope that 2021 will get a little bit better for all of us. Tigers were able to salvage the season, still not a losing season since 1999. Yep. Saints are in a good position if they get their guys back healthy, but as you alluded to, we do hope that you will keep the faith and still trust in the good Lord. He's going to take care of all of us, and we want each and every one of you out there to have a great Christmas. You kids, don't forget, Santa is watching right now. So if you are bad and you're misbehaving, it could cost you here on Christmas Day. So kids, get your act together and let's act right for the next couple 3 days.
Real quick, favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not good on all that.
Oh, you don't know any Christmas movies, Bud?
Yeah,
man?
what you like?
I mean, I have a bunch, but I like, the Home Alones, the Christmas Story. Got to watch the marathon on Christmas Eve. I mean, that's a family tradition.
Yeah, I watch all of that, but I'll be honest with you, man. I'm just catching up. I'm just starting to do some of my shopping. So I got about 3 more days out there getting gift cards, getting all the stuff for people. It's not about the gift. It is about, as you said, the holiday and the time and making sure that let's have a little Aretha Franklin this upcoming year. Let's see if we can all respect each other, treat each other a little bit better. And once again, from the bottom of our hearts over here, radio, TV, internet, all of us at Pelican want to thank all of you for being with us in 2020.
Certainly want to thank you, Bud, man, for another excellent year. I want to thank Marty, our floor general extraordinaire. Also want to thank Pelican Management and Katie True for working hard in the truck, making this show possible. We just sit here up and talk, and they do a great job getting everything ready. But, man, you've done a great job all season. Certainly thankful for you. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and the family. Same to Marty, Alan, and Katie, and all of you out there. Certainly appreciate you joining us for Tigers Roar. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Merry Christmas.
fire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one. No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.